Chosen one, God is about to make it make sense. Stay ready. Picture this: a puzzle scattered across the floor of your life, pieces jagged and mismatched, each one a moment of confusion, a season of pain, a question left unanswered. You've been staring at this chaos, wondering why the picture doesn't come together, why your prayers seem to linger in the air, why your heart aches for clarity that feels just out of reach. But right now, at this very moment, heaven is shifting. The architect of eternity is picking up those pieces. Every tear, every closed door, every sleepless night, and he's fitting them into a masterpiece that will leave you breathless. This isn't just another message. This is your divine wake-up call, a sacred interruption designed to pull you out of doubt and into your destiny. You didn't stumble upon this video found you. God is whispering, "Stay ready, chosen one. I'm about to make it all make sense." Your heart might be racing right now, your spirit stirring like a restless wind. That's not coincidence, that's recognition. Deep in your soul, you know this moment is different. You've been carrying burdens others can't see, fighting battles no one else understands, holding on to faith when everything around you screamed to let go. Why? Because you're not ordinary, you're chosen. Jeremiah 1:5 declares, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." God didn't just create you. He crafted you for a purpose so precise it's been etched into the scrolls of heaven since before time began. But here's the truth that will shake you to your core. Every struggle, every rejection, every moment of confusion wasn't punishment. It was preparation. God wasn't breaking you, He was building you. And now the season of wondering is ending, the season of clarity is beginning. You've been asking, why, God? Why the delays? Why the pain? Why do my dreams feel like fragments that don't fit? Maybe you've watched others walk through doors that seemed locked to you, seen them claim blessings while you're still praying for a breakthrough. Maybe you've felt invisible, like your name was forgotten in heaven's courts. But chosen one, hear this: you were never forgotten. You were forged. Every trial was a chisel in God's hand, shaping you for a purpose so magnificent it required this level of refining. Think about Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, locked in a prison for a crime he didn't commit. For 13 years, his life looked like a puzzle with no solution. But Genesis 50:20 reveals the truth. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. Every piece of his pain was part of God's plan to position him as Egypt's second in command, saving nations from famine. Your story is no different. The chaos you've endured is about to make sense. Right now, as you listen, heaven is aligning the pieces of your life. That job loss that crushed you, it was God redirecting you to a path you couldn't see. That relationship that fell apart, it was God protecting you from a connection that would have dimmed your light. Those nights you cried out, wondering if God even heard you, those tears were collected in His bottle, as Psalm 56:8 promises, and they're about to be poured out as oil for your anointing. You weren't abandoned, you were appointed. You weren't rejected, you were redirected. The enemy thought he could scatter your life into pieces, but God was arranging them into a mosaic of divine purpose. And this moment, right here, is when the picture starts to come together. If this message is stirring something deep in your spirit, if you feel the pieces of your life trembling with the promise of clarity, I invite you to support this ministry through Super Thanks below. Your generosity isn't just a gift. It's a seed that helps us reach other chosen ones who are waiting for their moment of awakening. But whether you give or simply receive, know this: your presence here is no accident. Heaven has orchestrated this divine appointment, and God is ready to reveal why every piece of your journey matters. Let's talk about the puzzle of your life. You've been holding pieces that don't seem to fit. Dreams that feel too big, setbacks that feel too heavy, questions that feel too deep. Maybe you've been trying to force the pieces together, praying for answers, only to end up with more confusion. But chosen one, God doesn't work in chaos. He works in divine order. 1 Corinthians 14:33 reminds us, God is not a God of disorder, but of peace. Every piece of your life, even the ones that seem broken, was hand-picked by the Creator to form a picture only He could design. Think about a jigsaw puzzle. When you first pour out the pieces, they look like a mess. Random shapes, clashing colors, no clear pattern. But as you trust the process, as you follow the design, the picture emerges. That's where you are right now. You're on the edge of seeing the masterpiece God has been crafting all along. Consider Sarah from Atlanta, a single mother who spent years piecing together a life after her husband left. She worked 2 jobs, prayed through exhaustion, and wondered why her faith wasn't enough to change her circumstances. For a decade, her life felt like a puzzle with missing pieces. But last year, she took a small step. She enrolled in a community college course, trusting a whisper in her spirit. That step led to a scholarship, then a promotion at work, and now she's mentoring other single mothers in her church. The pieces didn't make sense until she trusted God's timing. Her pain wasn't random. It was preparation to become a beacon of hope. Your story might feel like Sarah's, fragmented, unclear, but God is about to show you how every piece fits. Here's the revelation that will change everything. Your deepest fears are the keys to your greatest breakthroughs. This video isn't about chasing temporary blessings or fleeting success. It's about unlocking the clarity that transforms your fear into faith, your confusion into confidence, your scattered pieces into a divine masterpiece. The enemy has been whispering lies, telling you your struggles mean you're disqualified, that your pain proves you're forgotten, but those lies are crumbling right now. Isaiah 61:3 promises, "He will give you beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness." Your ashes, those moments of loss, betrayal, or failure, are about to become the foundation for a testimony that will shake nations. But clarity doesn't come by waiting passively. It comes by stepping forward in faith. Let me give you 3 specific, practical steps to position yourself for this divine moment. First, write down one goal you've been delaying. It could be starting that business, applying for that job, or even forgiving someone who hurt you. Put it on paper this week. Be specific, like, "I will call my sister by Friday," or "I will draft the first chapter of my book by Sunday." Writing it down makes it real. It's a declaration to heaven that you're ready to move. Second, reach out to one person who needs your light. Maybe it's a friend you haven't spoken to in years, a family member you've been avoiding, or a stranger God puts on your heart. Send a text, make a call, or offer a kind word today. Your action could be the key to their breakthrough. Third, start that project you've been postponing. It doesn't have to be perfect. Register that domain name, sketch that idea, or take that first step toward your vision. These steps aren't random. They're your way of telling God, "I'm ready for clarity." If you're feeling a fire ignite in your spirit, if you sense the pieces of your life starting to align, type "I am ready for my divine clarity" in the comments below. Your declaration isn't just words. It's a signal to heaven that you're claiming this moment. It's a way to join thousands of chosen ones who are awakening to their purpose right now. Share your heart and pray for the person who commented before you. Together, we're building a community of faith, a family bound by divine purpose. Let's talk about fear. because it's the fog that's been clouding your clarity. Fear isn't just a feeling, it's a strategy the enemy uses to keep you from your destiny. It whispers, "You're not enough. You've failed too many times. What if you step out and fall?" But chosen one, fear is a liar. 2 Timothy 1:7 declares, "God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind." That fear holding you back? It's not from God. It's a phantom God standing between you and your divine moment. Think about Moses standing before the burning bush, trembling with doubt. He said, "Who am I to go to Pharaoh?" But God didn't ask for his qualifications. He asked for his obedience. Moses' fear was real, but his faith was greater. He stepped forward, and the Red Sea parted. Your fear is real, but your faith is greater too. Let me tell you about James, a teacher from Chicago who felt stuck in a job that drained his soul. For years, he dreamed of starting a youth mentorship program, but fear told him he didn't have the resources or the experience. Last summer, he took a small step. He volunteered at a local community center. That step led to a partnership with a non-profit, and now his program is reaching dozens of kids, giving them hope he never had growing up. James didn't wait for fear to disappear. He acted in spite of it. Your fears, whether it's failure, rejection, or the unknown, are not walls, they're doorways. Step through them, and you'll find clarity waiting on the other side. Right now, heaven is watching. The pieces of your life are trembling, ready to snap into place. But clarity requires courage. It requires you to trust that God's plan is bigger than your doubts. Psalm 139:16 says, "Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." Every moment of your life, every joy, every pain, every unanswered prayer was written in God's book. He's not surprised by your struggles. He's been using them to prepare you for a purpose so bold, it will make your past make sense. Let's talk about the waiting. You've been patient, haven't you? You've prayed, believed, and held on through seasons that felt like deserts. But what if the waiting wasn't a delay, but a divine setup? Think about David, anointed as king but sent back to the sheep fields. For years he tended flocks while running from Saul's spears. It didn't make sense. Why anoint a king only to send him to the wilderness? But God was teaching David to trust his timing, to wield a slingshot before a scepter. Every moment in the wilderness was preparing him to lead a nation. Your waiting isn't wasted. It's been God's classroom, training you for the moment when the puzzle comes together. Here's where it gets personal. Some of you are thinking, "But I've waited too long. I'm too old, too broken, too far behind." Let me remind you of Abraham, called at 75 to father nations, or Sarah, who gave birth at 90. God doesn't operate on human timelines. Your age, your past, your failures, they're not disqualifications, they're qualifications. Your brokenness is the key that fits this divine moment. The cracks in your heart let God's light shine through. The scars on your soul tell a story of resilience. You're not too late. You're right on time. Now, let's address the doubt that's creeping in. The enemy is whispering, "This sounds too good to be true. What if this is just another false hope?" That doubt isn't wisdom. It's a trap. The enemy knows that when you embrace your divine purpose, his hold on your life breaks. He's terrified of the moment you see the puzzle come together, because that's when you become unstoppable. Romans 8:28 promises, "In all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose." Every piece of your life, every rejection, every failure, every unanswered prayer is working for your good. God is weaving it into a tapestry of triumph. You're standing at a crossroads, chosen one. On one side is the familiar, the doubts, the fears, the scattered pieces you've grown used to. On the other side is clarity, a divine moment where every piece of your life snaps into place. Picture it, a radiant door with your name carved in gold, standing open, light pouring through, inviting you to step into a future where everything makes sense. That door is real and it's open now, but it won't stay open forever. God's timing is precise, and this moment is yours to seize. If you're ready to step into this divine clarity, if you feel the pieces of your life trembling with purpose, type "I am ready for my divine clarity" in the comments below. Your words are a declaration, a signal to heaven that you're claiming this moment. Pray for the person who commented before you, because you're part of a family bound by faith, lifting each other up as we step into our destinies. Let's talk about what's on the other side of this door. It's not just answers, it's authority. Not just healing, it's legacy. Not just breakthrough, it's transformation. When you step through, you're not just stepping into a new season. You're stepping into the version of yourself God always saw. The enemy tried to convince you that your struggles were evidence of your failure, but they were evidence of your calling. Every piece of your pain was a brushstroke in God's masterpiece, and now He's ready to unveil it. Consider Maria, a nurse from Dallas who felt trapped in a cycle of burnout. For years she prayed for purpose, wondering why her life felt like a puzzle with no picture. Last spring she took a small step. She started a blog to share her experiences with other healthcare workers. That blog grew into a community, then a non-profit that now supports nurses with mental health resources. Maria's pain didn't disqualify her. It qualified her to help others. Your struggles aren't setbacks. They're stepping stones to a purpose that will outlive you. Here's the urgency. This divine moment has a timer. Not because God is cruel, but because His plans are precise. Isaiah 55:6 warns, "Seek the Lord while He may be found. Call on Him while He is near." This door, this moment, is open now, but it won't wait forever. Think about Noah, who built the ark before a single raindrop fell. His obedience in the face of impossibility saved his family. Your obedience in this moment could save generations. The pieces of your life are ready to align, but you have to step forward. If this message is setting your spirit ablaze, if you feel the Holy Spirit confirming this truth, consider supporting this ministry through super thanks below. Your seed plants hope in the hearts of others who are waiting for their own divine clarity. But know this, your faith, your presence, your willingness to listen, these are enough. You're part of a remnant, a chosen generation stepping into their God-given purpose together. Let's talk about the transformation waiting for you. When you step through this door, you're not just finding answers. You're becoming the answer. Your life becomes a testimony that inspires others to believe again. Your breakthrough becomes a bridge for someone else's healing. Picture a scroll unfurling in heaven, your name written in gold, detailing a purpose so bold it shifts the atmosphere. That's what's waiting. That's what God has been preparing you for. Every piece of your life, the pain, the waiting, the faith, it's all coming together now. You might be thinking, but what if I'm not ready? What if I fail? Let me remind you of Peter, who stepped out of the boat onto raging waves. He didn't have all the answers. His knees were shaking, his heart pounding, but he walked on water because he trusted Jesus more than he trusted his fears. Your readiness isn't about perfection. It's about trust. Trust that God's plan is bigger than your doubts. Trust that every piece of your life has a purpose. Trust that this moment is yours. Right now, heaven is holding its breath. Angels are leaning in, waiting to see if you'll claim this divine clarity. The enemy is trembling because he knows that when you step through this door, his lies lose their power. Your life is about to make sense in ways you never imagined. The puzzle is coming together. The picture is becoming clear. But you have to act. Those 3 steps, writing your goal, reaching out to someone, starting your project, they're not just tasks, they're keys to unlock your destiny. If you're ready to see the pieces of your life align, if you're ready to step into the clarity God has prepared, type "I am ready for my divine clarity" in the comments below. Your declaration is a beacon, a signal to heaven that you're claiming this moment. Pray for the person who commented before you, because together we're a family of faith, lifting each other into our divine purpose. You've been standing at the threshold, chosen one, but this is your moment to cross over. Picture it, a radiant light breaking through the fog of your fears, illuminating a path paved with every prayer you've ever prayed. That path leads to a future where every piece of your life fits perfectly. God is saying, "Stay ready. I'm about to make it make sense." The question isn't whether he's ready, it's whether you are. Will you trust him? Will you take those steps? Will you step through the door? The door is open, chosen one, and the light pouring through it is calling your name. You're not standing at this threshold by chance. Every step of your journey, every moment of doubt, every flicker of hope, every unanswered question has led you to this divine appointment. God is ready to make it make sense, to take the scattered pieces of your life and reveal a picture so breathtaking it will rewrite your story. But this moment isn't just about clarity. It's about courage. It's about daring to believe that the God who formed the stars has a plan for you, so precise, so purposeful, that every fragment of your past was part of its design. You're not here to question your worth. You're here to claim your calling. Let's talk about the lies that have held you back. The enemy has been relentless, hasn't he? He's whispered that your mistakes define you, that your past is a chain you can't break, that your dreams are too big for someone like you. But chosen one, those lies are crumbling under the weight of God's truth. Isaiah 43:1 declares, "Do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name. You are mine." You are not your failures. You are not your regrets. You are God's masterpiece, summoned by name for a purpose that's been burning in your spirit since before you took your first breath. The enemy's lies are loud, but God's truth is louder. And right now, that truth is echoing through the courts of heaven, calling you to step into your divine moment. Picture a battlefield strewn with the wreckage of your past. Broken dreams, shattered hopes, moments when you felt like giving up. Now imagine God walking through that battlefield, gathering every piece, every shard, every fragment of pain. He's not discarding them, he's redeeming them. Ephesians 2:10 says, "We are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works which God prepared in advance for us to do." Your life isn't a mistake. It's a miracle in the making. Every wound is being woven into a testimony. Every setback is being transformed into a setup for your breakthrough. God is taking the wreckage and building a monument to His glory, and you're standing on the edge of seeing it unveiled. Let me tell you about Rachel, a librarian from Seattle who felt her life was stuck in a loop of monotony. For years, she dreamed of writing a book to inspire young women, but the lie of "I'm not good enough" kept her silent. Last winter, she took one of those small steps we talked about. She wrote down her goal to finish a chapter by spring. That single act of obedience sparked a fire. She joined a writing group, shared her draft, and by summer, She had a publisher. Now her book is in bookstores, touching lives she'll never meet. Rachel's past didn't disqualify her, it equipped her. Her years of quiet observation as a librarian gave her a voice that resonates with thousands. Your past, too, is equipping you for a purpose only you can fulfill. The enemy wants you to believe your story is over, that the pieces of your life are too broken to matter, but God sees a different picture. He sees a scroll in heaven, unrolling with every step you take, revealing a destiny so bold it will shift generations. Your life isn't random, it's radiant with purpose. The question is, will you embrace it? Will you let go of the lies and step into the truth of who you are? This isn't about chasing fleeting success or temporary comfort. It's about unlocking a spiritual awakening that transforms not just your life, but the lives of those around you. Your breakthrough isn't just for you. It's a beacon for others lost in their own fog of doubt. Now, let's talk about the power of your yes. You've been hesitating, haven't you? Maybe you've been waiting for a sign, a confirmation, a moment when everything feels certain. But chosen one, faith doesn't wait for certainty, it creates it. Hebrews 11:1 says, faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. Your yes isn't just a word, it's a weapon. It's a key that unlocks the door to your destiny. When you say yes to God, you're not just agreeing to a plan, you're aligning with a promise. You're stepping into a faith journey that will make the impossible possible. Think about Esther, standing before King Ahasuerus, her heart pounding, her life on the line. She didn't have a guarantee of success. She didn't know if the king would extend his scepter or order her death. But she said yes to her calling, and that yes saved a nation. Your yes might not look like Esther's, but it carries the same weight. It's the yes that starts the business God placed in your heart. It's the yes that rebuilds the relationship you thought was lost. It's the yes that takes the first step toward a dream you've buried under years of doubt. Your yes is the spark that ignites your personal transformation, and it's waiting to be spoken. If you're ready to say yes, if you feel the power of this moment surging through your spirit, type, "My yes is for my divine purpose" in the comments below. Your declaration is a signal to heaven, a vow that you're ready to step into the clarity God has prepared. Pray for the person who commented before you, because you're part of a community of faith, lifting each other up as we claim our destinies. Your words could be the encouragement someone needs to say their own yes. Let's talk about the legacy you're building. This divine moment isn't just about you, it's about the generations that will follow. Every step you take, every lie you reject, every yes you speak, is a brick in a foundation that will outlive you. Proverbs 13:22 says, "A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children." That inheritance isn't just money, it's faith, courage, and purpose. When you step through this door, you're not just finding clarity for yourself, you're paving a path for others, your children, your community, even strangers you'll never meet. They're all tied to your obedience. Consider Michael, a carpenter from Ohio who grew up in a family plagued by addiction. For years he battled the same demons, feeling like his life was a cycle of broken pieces. But 2 years ago he said yes to God's call to get sober and mentor others. He started a small support group in his church basement, sharing his story with men who felt as hopeless as he once did. Today, that group has grown into a ministry that's helped dozens break free from addiction. Michael's yes didn't just change his life, it's changing his family's legacy. His children are growing up with a father who's a warrior for faith, not a victim of his past. Your yes can do the same. It can break curses, shift bloodlines, and build a legacy of hope. Right now, heaven is aligning resources for your breakthrough. Doors you didn't even know existed are creaking open. Connections you couldn't imagine are being orchestrated. Psalm 37:23 says, "The Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in him." Your steps, those small, faithful actions you've already committed to, are being guided by God's hand. The goal you wrote down, the person you reached out to, the project you started, these aren't just tasks. They're seeds planted in the soil of your destiny, and they're about to bear fruit. But here's the urgency. This moment is fleeting. God's timing is like a river, powerful, precise, and unstoppable. If you hesitate, if you let doubt dam the flow, you risk missing the current that carries you to your purpose. Habakkuk 2:3 says, "The revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay." Your revelation, your clarity, your divine moment. It's here, but you have to move with it. The pieces of your life are ready to align, but they need your faith to snap into place. If this message is stirring your soul, if you feel the legacy of your yes taking root, consider supporting this ministry through super thanks below. Your seed helps us reach others who are waiting for their own momentum of clarity, their own chance to build a legacy. But know this, your presence here is a testament to your faith. You're part of a chosen remnant, a family bound by purpose, stepping into God's plan together. Let's talk about the transformation on the other side of your yes. When you step through this door, you're not just stepping into clarity, you're stepping into authority. You're not just finding answers, you're becoming the answer. Picture a crown forged in the fires of your trials, waiting to be placed on your head. Revelation 3:11 says, "I am coming soon. Hold on to what you have, so that no one will take your crown." That crown is your calling, your purpose, your divine destiny. The enemy has tried to steal it, but he's failed. You're still here, still believing, still ready to claim what's yours. Your transformation won't just change you, it will change the atmosphere around you. Your faith will become a fire that ignites others. Your courage will become a compass for those lost in fear. Your story will become a symphony of God's grace, resonating through generations. Think about Paul, once a persecutor named Saul, transformed on the road to Damascus. His yes didn't just save him, it sparked a movement that's still alive today. Your yes could spark a movement too. It could heal a family, revive a community, or inspire a stranger halfway across the world. Right now, as you stand at this threshold, heaven is cheering. Angels are positioned, ready to release resources that have been stored up for this moment. The puzzle of your life is trembling, ready to reveal a picture so beautiful it will take your breath away. But you have to step forward. You have to trust that God's plan is bigger than your fears, stronger than your doubts, and more radiant than your wildest dreams. The pieces are aligning. The door is open. Your divine moment is now. If you're ready to claim this transformation, if you feel the fire of your yes burning in your chest, type "My yes is for my divine purpose" in the comments below. Your declaration is a beacon, a signal to heaven that you're stepping into your destiny. Pray for the person who commented before you, because together we're a family of faith, lifting each other into our God-given purpose. You're standing at the edge of something eternal, chosen one, where the whispers of heaven are louder than the noise of your doubts. The door before you isn't just an opportunity, it's a portal to a destiny so intricately designed that every fragment of your life, every moment you thought was wasted, is about to shine like a jewel in God's masterpiece. Your yes is echoing in the spiritual realm, shaking the foundations of fear and awakening the promises written in your name. This isn't a moment to shrink back. It's a moment to rise, to claim the clarity God has been preparing you for, to see the puzzle of your life transform into a picture of divine purpose. God is saying, stay ready. I'm making it make sense, and your next step will change everything. Let's talk about the weight you've been carrying. Not the burdens of circumstance, but the weight of expectation. The pressure of a calling you've felt but couldn't name. You've sensed it, haven't you? That restless pull in your spirit, that knowing deep in your bones that you were made for more than the ordinary. It's kept you awake at night, stirred you in moments of quiet, made you feel different from those who seem content with the status quo. That weight isn't a curse. It's a crown. It's the mark of someone chosen to carry a purpose that shifts atmospheres, breaks chains, and builds legacies. Romans 8:19 says, "The creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed." Creation isn't waiting for your perfection, it's waiting for your revelation. And that revelation begins now. Picture a tapestry woven with threads of gold and crimson, each strand representing a moment of your life, your joys, your sorrows, your victories, your defeats. From where you stand, it might look tangled, incomplete, even chaotic. But from heaven's perspective, it's a work of art, a story of redemption that's about to be unveiled. Every thread, every moment you thought was insignificant, was chosen by God to create a legacy that will outlive you. Think about Ruth, a widow in a foreign land, gleaning in fields to survive. Her life seemed small, her future uncertain, but her faithfulness, her quiet obedience, wove her into the lineage of Jesus himself. Your faithfulness, your willingness to carry the weight of your calling, is weaving you into a story that will echo through eternity. Let me tell you about Daniel, a mechanic from Miami who felt the weight of a dream he couldn't shake. For years he wanted to open a garage that trained at-risk youth, but the demands of life, bills, family, long hours, kept him stuck. He carried that weight, that restless pull, until last fall, when he took one of those steps we talked about. He reached out to a local pastor for advice. That conversation led to a grant application, then a small space donated by a church. Today, Daniel's garage is training 6 teenagers, giving them skills and hope. The weight he carried wasn't a burden, it was a blueprint. Your weight, your calling, is a blueprint too, and God is ready to unfold it. The enemy has tried to convince you that this weight is too heavy, that your calling is too big, that you're not strong enough to carry it, but chosen one, that's a lie. Philippians 4:13 declares, "I can do all this through him who gives me strength." The strength you need isn't yours, it's God's. He didn't call you to carry this weight alone. He called you to carry it with him. Every moment you felt overwhelmed, every time you've wondered if you could keep going, God was there, strengthening you, shaping you, preparing you for a spiritual awakening that will light up the darkness around you. Your calling isn't a burden, it's a blessing, and it's about to make sense. Now let's talk about the sound of your calling. You've heard it, haven't you? Not with your ears, but with your spirit. A melody that hums beneath the surface of your life, a rhythm that pulses through your quiet moments. It's the sound of your purpose, the song God wrote for you before the foundation of the world. Sometimes it's loud, like a trumpet calling you to action. Other times it's soft, like a whisper urging you to keep going. But it's always there, guiding you, reminding you that you were born for something extraordinary. Psalm 43 says, "He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God." That song is yours, chosen one, and it's time to sing it. Think about David, a shepherd boy whose life was filled with the sounds of bleating sheep and rustling winds. But one day, he heard a different sound, the call to face Goliath. It wasn't a sound the world recognized. His brothers mocked him, the army doubted him, the giant laughed at him. But David heard the song of his calling, the rhythm of God's promise, and he ran toward the giant with a slingshot and a song. Your calling has a sound too, and it's drowning out the noise of doubt, fear, and distraction. It's the sound of a business waiting to be launched, a relationship waiting to be healed, a dream waiting to be born. Will you listen? Will you sing? Let me tell you about Grace, a teacher from Charlotte who heard the sound of her calling in the midst of chaos. After losing her job during a school closure, she felt adrift, her life silent of purpose. But in that silence, she heard a whisper to tutor children in her neighborhood for free. She took one of those steps we mentioned. She started that project, offering lessons in her living room. That small act grew into a community program, now funded by local businesses, helping dozens of kids excel. Grace's calling wasn't silent. It was singing, and her obedience amplify it. Your calling is singing too, and your yes will amplify it for the world to hear. If you're hearing the song of your purpose, if you feel the rhythm of God's plan pulsing through your spirit, type "I hear my divine song" in the comments below. Your declaration is a note in heaven's symphony, a signal that you're ready to sing your part. Pray for the person who commented before you, because together we're a choir of faith, lifting each other into our divine purpose. Your words could be the harmony someone needs to find their own song. Let's talk about the vision God has given you. You've seen it, haven't you? Not with your eyes, but with your heart. A glimpse of a future where your life makes sense, where your pain has purpose, where your dreams are reality. Maybe it's a vision of a family restored, a community transformed, or a legacy that outlives you. That vision isn't a fantasy, it's a forecast. Habakkuk 2:2-3 says, "Write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets, so that a herald may run with it. For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false." Your vision is God's promise, and this moment is its appointed time. Picture a canvas stretched across the heavens, painted with the colors of your destiny. Every brushstroke, every trial, every triumph, every moment of faith is part of the picture God is creating. The enemy has tried to smear that canvas with doubt, to convince you that your vision is impossible. But God is the ultimate artist, and He's not finished. Your vision isn't a daydream, it's a divine blueprint. It's the business that will provide for your family, the ministry that will heal broken hearts, the story that will inspire generations. The canvas is ready, and God is handing you the brush. Consider Leah, a graphic designer from Denver, who saw a vision of creating art that uplifted her community. For years she dismissed it as impractical, buried under the demands of her day job. But last year she took one of those steps. She wrote down her goal to create a mural for her neighborhood. That act of faith led to a commission from her city, and now her artwork adorns a community center, inspiring hope in a place that needed it. Leah's vision wasn't a fantasy, it was a calling, and her obedience brought it to life. Your vision is a calling too, and your faith will paint it into reality. Right now, heaven is aligning the colors of your destiny, the resources you need, the connections you seek, the opportunities you've prayed for. They're being orchestrated by the one who holds the stars, but you have to trust the artist. You have to believe that every stroke, every shade, every moment of your life is part of the picture. The puzzle is coming together, chosen one. The pieces are aligning, the song is rising, the vision is clarifying. God is making it make sense, but He needs your faith to complete the masterpiece. If this message is igniting your vision, if you see the canvas of your destiny taking shape, consider supporting this ministry through super thanks below. Your seed plants hope in the hearts of others waiting to see their own vision come to life. But know this, your presence, your faith, your willingness to listen, these are enough. You're part of a remnant, a chosen generation, painting the future with God's promises. Let's talk about the fire in your spirit. You feel it, don't you? That burning, that unrelenting spark that refuses to die no matter how many storms have tried to extinguish it. That fire isn't just passion, it's God's Spirit, alive in you, fueling your purpose. Zechariah 4:6 says, "Not by might nor by power, but by my Spirit, says the Lord Almighty." Your fire isn't human, it's holy. It's the same fire that burned in Moses' bush, in Elijah's altar, in the apostles' hearts at Pentecost. It's the fire of your calling, and it's about to blaze through every obstacle in your path. Think about Peter, a fisherman whose life was ordinary until Jesus called him. He didn't feel qualified, his hands were calloused, his education limited, his failures public. But when the fire of the Holy Spirit fell at Pentecost, Peter stood and preached with a boldness that shook Jerusalem. That fire turned a denier into a disciple, a failure into a foundation. Your fire is doing the same. It's turning your doubts into declarations, your pain into purpose, your struggles into strength. The enemy has tried to douse that fire with fear, but he's failed. You're still burning, still rising, still ready. Let me tell you about Sophia, a barista from Portland who felt a fire to start a prayer group for her co-workers. She was shy, unsure, afraid of rejection. But last spring, she took one of those steps. She reached out to a colleague, inviting her to pray after their shift. That small act grew into a weekly gathering, now attended by half her staff. That fire didn't just change Sophia, it changed her workplace, turning a coffee shop into a sanctuary. Your fire can change your world too. It's the spark that starts the revival, the flame that lights the path, the blaze that burns away every lie. Right now, the fire in your spirit is flaring, ready to illuminate the puzzle of your life. The pieces are snapping into place, the song is swelling, the vision is sharpening, the weight is lifting. God is making it make sense, chosen one, but you have to fan the flame. You have to trust that the fire within you is enough to light the way. The door is open, the canvas is ready, the song is yours to sing. Will you step forward? Will you let your fire blaze? If you feel the fire of your calling burning brighter, if you sense the pieces of your destiny aligning, type "My fire is for my divine purpose" in the comments below. Your declaration is a spark in heaven's furnace, a signal that you're ready to blaze your path. Pray for the person who commented before you, because together we're a wildfire of faith, igniting each other's divine destiny. The fire in your spirit is roaring now, chosen one, a holy blaze that's consuming every doubt, every fear, every lie that's tried to dim your light. You're not just standing at the door of your destiny, you're stepping toward it, carried by the momentum of God's promises and the rhythm of His plan. The puzzle of your life is no longer a mystery. It's a miracle unfolding, each piece locking into place with divine precision. God is making it make sense, and the clarity you've been craving is breaking through like dawn after a long, dark night. This isn't a moment to pause or look back. It's a moment to press forward, to trust that the fire within you is fueled by the one who spoke the universe into existence. Your divine purpose is calling, and every step you take is a declaration that you're ready to answer. Let's talk about the authority you're stepping into. This isn't about power in the world sense, titles, wealth, or recognition. This is about spiritual authority, the kind that shifts atmospheres, breaks strongholds, and opens doors no one can shut. Revelation 3:7 says, "What he opens no one can shut, and what he shuts no one can open." The door before you, radiant with your name carved in gold, isn't just an invitation, it's a commissioning. When you step through, you're not just receiving a breakthrough, you're becoming a breaker of chains. You're being entrusted with the authority to speak life where death has lingered, to bring hope where despair has ruled, to build bridges where division has reigned. This authority isn't earned, it's bestowed, given by the one who chose you before the stars were hung. Picture a scepter, gleaming with heaven's light, placed in your hands. It's not heavy, it's weightless, crafted for you alone. With every step you take, that scepter sends ripples through the spiritual realm, commanding obstacles to move, lies to crumble, and promises to manifest. Think about Deborah, a prophetess and judge in Israel, sitting under a palm tree, wielding authority not through force, but through faith. She spoke God's word, and armies moved. She declared his will, and nations shifted. Your authority is like hers, not loud or flashy, but unshakable, rooted in the certainty that God's plan for you is unstoppable. The enemy has tried to make you doubt your right to hold this scepter, but his time is up. You're stepping into your divine moment, and the authority is yours. Let me tell you about Marcus, a delivery driver from Houston who felt invisible in his daily grind. He sensed a calling to lead, but his life seemed too ordinary, his voice too small. Last year, he took one of those steps we mentioned. He started a project, organizing a food drive for his neighborhood. That small act of obedience revealed his authority. Neighbors rallied, churches partnered, and now his initiative feeds hundreds monthly. Marcus didn't wait for a title. He stepped into his God-given authority, and the impact is undeniable. Your authority is waiting too, ready to transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. It's not about being seen, it's about being sent. The enemy has been terrified of this moment, chosen one. He knows that when you embrace your authority, his schemes unravel. He has thrown distractions, delays, and discouragements your way, hoping to keep you from this door. But you're here, still burning, still believing, still ready. John 10:10 says, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full." The full life Jesus promised isn't a distant dream. It's on the other side of this door, waiting for you to claim it with the authority God has given you. Your words, your actions, your faith, they carry weight in the spiritual realm. And they're about to shift the natural one too. Now, let's talk about the harvest you're stepping into. This divine moment isn't just about your breakthrough. It's about the fruit your life will bear for others. Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." You've been sowing in tears, haven't you? You've planted seeds of faith in barren seasons, trusted God when the ground seemed dry, and held on when the harvest seemed impossible. But chosen one, the proper time is now. The fields are ripe, the fruit is ready, and the harvest is yours to gather. Picture a golden field, stretching as far as your eyes can see, heavy with fruit that glimmers under heaven's light. Each stalk represents a life you'll touch, a dream you'll birth, a legacy you'll leave. This harvest isn't just for you. It's for your family, your community, the strangers God will send across your path. Every seed of kindness you've sown, every prayer you've whispered, every moment you chose faith over fear, it's all coming to fruition. Think about Hannah, who prayed for a child through years of barrenness. Her seed of faith bore Samuel, a prophet who anointed kings and shifted Israel's destiny. Your seeds are bearing fruit too, and the harvest will be greater than you've imagined. Let me tell you about Eleanor, a hairstylist from San Diego, who sowed seeds of encouragement in her salon. She felt a calling to uplift her clients, but life's demands made it hard to see the fruit. Last summer, she took one of those steps. She reached out to a client who seemed struggling, offering a listening ear. That conversation sparked a chain reaction. The client shared Elena's kindness, and soon her salon became a hub of hope, with clients supporting each other's dreams. Elena's harvest wasn't just personal. It was communal, a field of lives transformed by her obedience. Your harvest is waiting too, ready to feed those starving for hope. If you feel the fields of your harvest ripening, if you sense the fruit of your faith ready to be gathered, type "I claim my divine harvest" in the comments below. Your declaration is a signal to heaven, a vow that you're ready to reap what God has prepared. Pray for the person who commented before you, because together we're a family of harvesters, gathering the fruit of God's promises. Your words could be the spark someone needs to claim their own harvest. Let's talk about the peace that comes with this clarity. You've been searching for it, haven't you? Not the fleeting calm of a quiet day, but the deep, unshakable peace that anchors your soul in the storm. Philippians 4:7 promises, "The peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." This peace isn't a feeling, it's a fortress. It's the assurance that every piece of your life, every unanswered question, every moment of waiting is held in God's hands. When you step through this door, you're not just finding answers, you're finding rest, a place where your spirit can breathe, knowing God is making it make sense. Picture a river, its waters calm and clear, flowing through a valley of green. You're standing on its banks, the chaos of your life fading as the current carries it away. This river is God's peace, and it's inviting you to step in, to let its waters wash over your weary soul. Think about Jesus, asleep in the boat while a storm raged around him. His disciples panicked, but he rested, knowing his Father's plan was greater than the wave. Your peace is like his, not dependent on circumstances, but rooted in the certainty of God's purpose. The enemy has tried to steal this peace with anxiety and doubt, but he's losing. You're stepping into a clarity that brings rest. Let me tell you about Aisha, a nurse from Baltimore who lived in a storm of stress. Long shifts, family struggles, constant worry. She longed for peace, but couldn't find it. Last winter, she took one of those steps. She wrote down her goal to spend 10 minutes daily in prayer. That small act became her riverbank, a place of rest where God's peace began to flow. Today, Aisha's calm in the chaos inspires her co-workers, her family, even her patients. Her peace isn't just personal, it's powerful, a testimony of God's faithfulness. Your peace is powerful too, ready to guard your heart as you step into your destiny. Right now, the river of God's peace is flowing, ready to carry you into the clarity you've been seeking. The puzzle of your life is aligning, the fire is blazing, the harvest is ripening, the authority is yours. God is making it make sense, but you have to trust the current. You have to believe that His peace is stronger than your storms, deeper than your doubts, and more enduring than your fears. The door is open, the river is ready, the harvest is waiting. Will you step in? Will you let God's peace guard your heart? If this message is anchoring your soul, if you feel the peace of God washing over you, consider supporting this ministry through super thanks below. Your seed plants peace in the hearts of others, waiting for their own moment of rest. But know this, your faith, your presence, your willingness to listen, these are enough. You're part of a chosen generation, stepping into God's peace together. Let's talk about the light you're becoming. This divine moment isn't just about seeing clarity, it's about shining it. Matthew 5:16 says, "Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Your life with all its pieces is a lamp being lit by God's hand. The trials you've endured, the faith you've held, the steps you've taken, they're fuel for a light that will guide others home. You're not just stepping through a door, you're becoming a beacon, a signal to the lost, a spark for the weary. The enemy has tried to dim your light with shame and doubt, but he's failed. Your light is rising, and it's about to illuminate the world. Picture a lighthouse standing firm on a rocky shore, its beam cutting through the darkest night. That's you, chosen one. Your light isn't for you alone. It's for the ships lost at sea, the souls searching for hope, the hearts crying out for direction. Think about Mary Magdalene, once shrouded in darkness, transformed by Jesus' love. Her light didn't just shine for her, it carried the news of his resurrection to the world. Your light is like hers, not perfect, but powerful, born from the places where God's grace met your pain. The puzzle of your life is becoming a lighthouse, and its beam is ready to shine. Let me tell you about Jamal, a chef from Atlanta who felt his light was buried under years of struggle. Raised in foster care, he dreamed of opening a restaurant that served his community. Last spring, he took one of those steps. He reached out to a local food bank, offering to cook meals. That act of faith lit a spark. A donor noticed, funded a food truck, and now Jamal's meals feed hundreds weekly, his light guiding others to hope. Your light is ready too, chosen one, to shine through the steps you've taken, the faith you've held, the purpose you're claiming. Right now your light is rising, cutting through the fog of your past, illuminating the path to your destiny. The puzzle is aligning, the peace is flowing, the harvest is ripening, the authority is yours. God is making it make sense, and your light is the proof. The door is open, the lighthouse is lit, the river is ready. Will you shine? Will you let your light guide others to their own divine moment? If you feel your light rising, if you sense your purpose shining brighter, type "My light is for my divine clarity" in the comments below. Your declaration is a beam in heaven's sky, a signal that you're ready to shine. Pray for the person who commented before you, because together we're a constellation of faith, lighting each other's way to destiny. Your light is blazing now, chosen one, a radiant beacon piercing the darkness, guiding not just your path, but the paths of those who've lost their way. The door of your destiny stands wide open, its golden frame pulsing with the promise of clarity, and every step you take is illuminating the puzzle of your life. God is making it make sense, transforming the scattered pieces of your journey into a constellation of divine purpose that shines brighter than you ever imagined. This isn't a moment to dim your glow or hide your radiance. It's a moment to let your light flood the world, to trust that the God who lit your flame is fanning it into a fire that will change everything. You're not just stepping into your divine moment, you're becoming a movement, a living testimony of God's faithfulness. Let's talk about the ripple effect of your obedience. Every yes you've spoken, every step you've taken, writing that goal, reaching out to someone, starting that project, is sending waves through the spiritual and natural realms. These ripples aren't small, they're seismic, touching lives you may never meet, shifting destinies you may never see. Acts 13:47 says, "I have made you a light for the Gentiles, that you may bring salvation to the ends of the earth." Your obedience isn't just personal, it's global. It's the stone dropped in the water that creates waves of hope, healing, and transformation. The enemy has tried to convince you that your actions don't matter, that your steps are too small to make a difference. But chosen one, that's a lie. Your obedience is a catalyst, and its ripples are rewriting stories across generations. Picture a pebble tossed into a still lake, its impact sending circles outward, reaching shores you can't even see. That pebble is your faith, and those ripples are the lives you're touching. Your goal, written in faith, might inspire a stranger to pursue their dream. Your outreach to someone in need might spark a chain of kindness that heals a family. Your project, started in courage, might become a lifeline for a community. Think about Philip, who obeyed a nudge to approach an Ethiopian eunuch on a desert road. That single act of obedience led to the gospel spreading through Africa. Your obedience, your ripples, are just as powerful, carrying God's light to places you can't imagine. Let me tell you about Clara, a retiree from Phoenix who felt her life's impact was fading. She sensed a calling to share her wisdom, but age and doubt held her back. Last fall, she took one of those steps we mentioned. She wrote down her goal to start a storytelling group for kids at her library. That small act created ripples. Parents joined, local schools partnered, and now her stories are teaching children about resilience and faith. Clara's obedience didn't just touch her neighborhood, it's shaping young lives for years to come. Your obedience is creating ripples too, chosen one, and they're carrying your light farther than you know. The enemy has been desperate to stop these ripples, throwing obstacles to keep you stagnant, whispering that your efforts are futile. But John 15:16 says, "You did not choose me, but I chose you, and appointed you, so that you might go and bear fruit, fruit that will last." Your fruit, your ripples, are eternal. Every step you take in faith is planting seeds that will grow into trees of blessing, sheltering others long after you're gone. The puzzle of your life is becoming a lake of impact, and God is making it make sense, showing you how every piece fuels this divine movement. Now, let's talk about the courage it takes to keep shining. Stepping into your divine moment isn't a one-time act, it's a daily choice to let your light burn, even when the winds of opposition howl. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward despite it. Joshua 1:9 commands, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." Your courage is God's gift, forged in the fires of your trials, tempered by the steps you've taken. It's the strength to keep writing your goals, reaching out, and building your projects, even when the world says stop. Picture a warrior standing on a hill, their armor scarred but gleaming, their torch held high against the night. That's you, chosen one. Your courage is your armor, your faith is your torch, and every step you take is a battle won. Think about Gideon, called to lead Israel with only 300 men against an army of thousands. His knees shook, his heart raced, but he lit his torch and sounded his trumpet. His courage sparked a victory that echoed through history. Your courage is sparking victories too, not just for you, but for those watching, waiting for someone to show them what faith looks like in action. Let me tell you about Nina, a student from Boston who battled anxiety that kept her dreams locked away. She felt a calling to start a campus Bible study but feared rejection. Last semester, she took one of those steps. She reached out to a classmate, inviting her to pray. That act of courage grew into a group of 10 students, now meeting weekly, supporting each other's faith. Nina's courage didn't just change her, it's changing her campus. Your courage is changing your world too, chosen one, lighting the path through every storm. If you feel the fire of courage rising, if you sense your torch burning brighter, type "My courage is for my divine moment" in the comments below. Your declaration is a trumpet in heaven's army, a signal that you're ready to shine through the storm. Pray for the person who commented before you, because together we're a legion of warriors lifting each other's torches high. Your words could be the spark someone needs to keep shining. Let's talk about the promise of God's presence in your courage. You're not walking this path alone. The one who called you is closer than your breath, guiding every step, fueling every ripple, guarding every flame. Deuteronomy 31:6 says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." This promise isn't a wish, it's a certainty. God's presence is your shield, your compass, your strength. Every moment you've doubted, every time you felt alone, He was there, whispering, "I'm here. Keep going." Picture a shepherd walking through a dark valley, his staff steady, his eyes fixed on the light ahead. That's you, chosen one, guided by the shepherd who never leaves. Think about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, thrown into a fiery furnace for their faith. They weren't alone. A fourth figure walked with them in the flames. God's presence turned their trial into a testimony. Your trials are becoming testimonies too. Because God's presence is with you, making every piece of your puzzle shine with His glory. The enemy has tried to make you feel abandoned, but he's failed. You're surrounded by heaven's host, carried by God's promise. Let me tell you about Omar, a landscaper from Tucson who felt isolated in his faith. He sensed a calling to share his story but feared judgment. Last summer he took one of those steps. He wrote down his goal to speak at his church's men's group. That act of faith brought God's presence closer. His testimony moved dozens, sparking a revival in his congregation. Omar wasn't alone, and neither are you. God's presence is turning your steps into miracles, your courage into movements, your light into a legacy. Right now, God's presence is surrounding you, guiding your ripples, strengthening your courage, amplifying your light. The puzzle of your life is glowing, each piece a testament to His faithfulness. The door is open, the lake is rippling, the torch is burning. God is making it make sense, showing you how every moment has led to this divine clarity. But you have to trust His presence. You have to believe that He's with you, guiding every step, guarding every dream. If this message is anchoring your faith, if you feel God's presence closer than ever, consider supporting this ministry through super thanks below. Your seed plants faith in others waiting for their own moment of divine companionship. But know this, your presence here is enough. You're part of a chosen remnant walking with God's presence together. Let's talk about the joy of this journey. Stepping into your divine moment isn't just about duty, it's about delight, a joy that bubbles up from knowing you're exactly where God wants you. Psalm 16:11 says, "You make known to me the path of life. You will fill me with joy in your presence, with eternal pleasures at your right hand." This joy isn't fleeting, it's eternal, rooted in the certainty that your life is part of God's masterpiece. Every ripple you send, every torch you raise, every step you take, it's all infused with a joy that defies circumstances. Picture a dancer moving through a field of light, their steps free, their hearts soaring. That's you, chosen one, dancing in the joy of God's plan. Think about Paul and Silas singing hymns in a prison cell at midnight. Their chains were heavy, their future uncertain, but their joy was unshakable. That joy shook the prison's foundations, setting them free. Your joy is shaking foundations too, breaking the chains of doubt, lighting the path to your destiny. The enemy has tried to steal this joy with worry, but he's losing. You're dancing, singing, shining with heaven's delight. Let me tell you about Lila, a baker from Nashville who found joy in her calling. Struggling with debt, she felt her dreams of opening a bakery were impossible. Last spring, she took one of those steps. She started her project, selling cupcakes at a farmer's market. That act of faith sparked joy. Customers loved her, investors noticed, and now her bakery is opening next month. Lila's joy didn't wait for success, it fueled it. Your joy is fueling your destiny too, chosen one, turning your steps into a dance of faith. Right now, the joy of God's presence is rising, filling your heart, lighting your path, rippling through your life. The puzzle is radiant, the presence is near, the courage is strong. God is making it make sense, and your joy is the melody of this divine moment. The door is open, the dancer is ready, the lake is alive. Will you dance? Will you let your joy sing? If you feel the joy of your calling soaring, if you sense your heart dancing with purpose, type, "My joy is for my divine clarity" in the comments below. Your declaration is a note in heaven's song, a signal that you're ready to dance. Pray for the person who commented before you, because together we're a symphony of joy, lifting each other's spirits to destiny.